All right. Good evening, everybody. I want to welcome you to tonight's regular board business meeting. It's Thursday, May 7th. I'm calling us to order and would ask if, Sean, would you mind leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Okay, for roll call, we're joined by all of our board members. Thanks for being here, board. With that, we have a meeting agenda. I'd propose that we move our recognitions to our next item and then just move the remainder down due to the volume of recognitions, and I'm certain that these families would love to see our entire agenda tonight, but in case you don't, that would give us opportunity to recess briefly and get families out. So that would be my proposal.
All right, Mr. Chair, I would move that we approve the agenda as presented, moving the recognitions to the beginning of the meeting.
All right, moved by Chris, second by Holly, to approve the meeting agenda with our recognitions bumped up. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Well, then that takes us to our land acknowledgement. Chris, would you mind reading that?
Yep. We acknowledge the land where Gresham-Barlow School District is located rests on the ancestral land and unceded lands of the Multnomah, Cathlamet, Clackamas, Tualatin, Kalapuya, Molalla, bands of the Chinook, and many other tribes who made their homes along the Columbia River. We also acknowledge the systemic policies of genocide, relocations, and assimilation that still impact many Indigenous Native American families today. As settlers and guests on these lands, we respect the work of Native nations, leaders, and families, and make ongoing efforts to center Indigenous knowledge, creativity, resilience, and resistance. We consider the many legacies of violence, displacement, migration, and settlement that bring us here today.
Thank you, Chris. Well, next up is our recognitions. And it sounds like Principal Akimori is going to be spending some time with us today, and we're excited about that. So go ahead and come on up and
Thank you. Good evening, school board. My name is Aki Mori. I'm the very proud principal of Gresham High School. It's nice to be in front of you again. I do have a lot of recognitions from Gresham High School, some that should have been given last month, so I appreciate your patience, but we are so proud. We have a lot of Gresham High School staff here as well. Tonight we're going to be celebrating athletics and activities and performances, but there are teachers and counselors here too that are a big part of each of these students' lives, and so it's really nice that I have a large showing of my staff here to participate in the celebration of these kids. So let me proceed. In an effort to recognize students who achieve highly in school activities and academic programs, tonight the board has the opportunity to recognize state-level achievements of Gresham High School student athletes and performers. I'd like to first start with our dance team. Is Alyssa here? Is Assistant Coach Alyssa here? If not, I'm happy to join in. Elena Nielsen, are you here? All right, raise your hand, Elena. So Elena Nielsen, I'm very proud to announce to you, she won all-state first team at the state level, and she's a senior. Of course, there's a lot of work that went into that, but I also want you to know that she takes 4 AP classes and is in the student leadership as well. So she is more than an athlete. She's a very well-rounded student. And so, Elena, if you can stand up and... Elena, would you like a photo for your family? If you want to stand up there. All right. All right. I also would like to, before we recognize our next student, I want to introduce one of my favorite teachers, Dana Nelson. She is part of our CTE staff. She's going to join me up here, and she is going to announce the next recognized student, Dana Nelson. All right.
Oh, boy. Okay. All right. So I'm here to honor Jordan Zolman Harris, a junior at Gresham High School, for second place in food marketing at state with our DECA Club, which is our Gresham High School's business club. So Jordan, you want to stand up?
All right. Let's go take a photo.
Okay.
Come on up, Jordan. Jordan, do you have family here? Come on up.
And families, as your students are recognized, you are welcome to come up and take a picture too.
All right, next, it is my pleasure to introduce Austin Joseph, just a fabulous, fabulous drama teacher for our theater program. Austin, take it away. And for this, I'm going to sit back down in the regular audience because he has something for you. It's something special.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I have the pleasure of recognizing several of our students in our theater program from two of our competitions this year. We had the Mount Hood Conference District Acting Competition, and so we had several students who were recognized with superior acting, top 10% in our entire district. And so those people are in solo acting, Joy Ferber, and then in duo acting, Morgan Israelson and Michael Nedaleski, Ira Grimstead and Chloe Barnes, Zane Wood and Lena McCormack, Pepper Anderson and Liam Hamilton. Those were our superior actors. And then at districts this year, we had two showcase select performances, one in solo acting and one in duo acting. In solo acting, we had Lena McCormack, and in duo acting, we had Joy Ferber and Madison Pucher. We also had the pleasure of competing at state this year down in Salem with many, many, many schools all around the state of Oregon competing in a multitude of categories. And we had 3 different groups recognized as state champions. And those were Terry Arnold Munoz and Maggie Zelinka with their duo musical. Destiny Dorito with her contrasting monologues. And Joy Ferber and Madison Pucher with their duo comedic scene. We were going to have a performance tonight, but it appears that one of our performers was unable to make it. So I do apologize for that, but life happens. The show must go on. So that is what we have for you. If people want to go up and take pictures, I think now would be the time.
Yeah, please.
Thank you, Austin. Thank you for all the hard work that you do with our kids. I know they love you so much. The next Gresham High School staff member that I'd like to introduce to you with pleasure is Coach Cliff White. Hold on. Coach Cliff is the coach of our boys basketball team, and he is representing our basketball program today. If you want to sit down here, Cliff. Yep. So we got these right here.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys. Just kind of go over our season real quick because I can go on forever. This year, Gresham, we finished 15-12. That was a huge accomplishment for us because last year we only won 10 games. So, winning 5 more games for us was really good. And I don't like to brag, but it was like the first time in years that we beat Barlow twice. Sorry if Tom Johnson's in here. Sorry, Roby. I don't know if Tom Johnson's in here. I have huge respect for that guy, but he's a coaching legend, so I had to say that. But even on the girls' side, because I'm talking about both programs, just seeing the growth of the girls' program, we kind of like implement everything together, just seeing the growth of our program, just going to where it's at right now. It's like it's huge for us, for our community, and we're looking to do big things over there. Excuse me. Just to name a few, I guess I'm gonna name them all. I don't know if they're all here, but I'll name them all. First team all conference goes to Kareem Arthuri, senior Kareem Arthuri. And with Kareem, he was he's a 3-year starter. He played varsity sophomore, junior, senior year. This year he averaged 16 points, 7 rebounds, and he's also committed to play college basketball at Black Hills State University. Then next is sophomore Trey Foster. Trey Foster, he made second team all conference. Trey, he's probably top 5 in the state in shooting, 3-point percentage. That's a huge accomplishment. I mean, big basketball family for him, and we're looking for him to do better things next year as well. Sorry. Should I just read all of it? Okay. Next up is sophomore Ja'Kai Pipple-White. Ja'Kai was honorable mention all conference, but Ja'Kai this year averaged 9 points, and he was second in state in steals with 2.7 in the state of Oregon. So that's a huge accomplishment. I know he always gets things because his older brother's a college basketball player, so they try to compare. I keep telling people he's going to be a little better because he's way more athletic. Next up is Jeremiah Pishon. And Jeremiah, he was the heart of our team. He made honorable mention all conference, but he's the heart and soul in practice. Everything we did in the community, he was kind of the go-getter of our group, and we're proud that he finished his high school career at Gresham High School. Next up, this is not my team, but I would love if she was on. Oh my gosh, if she was on my team, I would love to coach her. First team all conference, I believe. I could be wrong, but she's only a freshman. I believe she averaged 15 points and maybe 18 rebounds. Am I close? It was 19 rebounds. I told you it was 19 rebounds, and that's the first girl I've seen in person that can actually jump up and grab the rim and make it snap. So, we have a deal. She said she's gonna start dunking next year, so I'm gonna buy her Dutch Bros or something if that happens. Naomi Richards. And another freshman making honorable mention all conference. I know I'm going to destroy her last name because I always do. Lute Fapalangi. Fala Papalangi. Fala Papalangi. Thank you. And Lute, I believe she's a 3 sport athlete. Right now she's running track, flag football, and plays basketball. So, yeah, she's definitely an athlete. Next up is senior Skyla Hansen. She made honorable mention all conference for the girls basketball team. And then another senior making honorable mention all conference for the girls basketball team is Jojo Tubania Aske. And I know more about JoJo, just kind of helping her with college. JoJo committed to Pacific University to play. She's going to run track, play flag football, and there's one other. She does everything. But at one point, especially before she blew out her Achilles or her ACL, I thought she was the best athlete at Gresham. Then last but not least, making honorable mention all conference is Kalia Keaton. And just knowing Kalia, I know she got very sick when she went to Mexico several months ago, where she came down with like some type of flu or virus, and that put her out for a month or two, and then she came back stronger than ever and had a great high school career.
All right, if you're here, and family members are also invited, let's take a group photo. You want girls and boys separate or together? We can go together. Okay. Yeah, girls and boys together. Yeah. So we have two more groups to recognize from Gresham High School. I just would like you all to know that I'm taking to heart what you said, Mr. Peterson, at the last meeting, that this is your favorite part of board meetings, and so we are taking our time and enjoying this. I hope you are as well. I'd like to next invite Coach Elijah Q, who is our wrestling coach, both for the boys and girls. And we have just an outstanding wrestling program with quite an impressive list of kids that will be recognized tonight by Elijah. Here we go, Coach.
I did write a little something, so please bear with me. Hello, everyone. For those who may not know me, my name is Elijah Koo. I am the head wrestling coach for both the boys and girls wrestling programs here at Gresham High School. Over the course of my second year as head coach, our program has slowly but steadily begun turning things around. We have been able to double our numbers in both boys and girls programs, while also seeing tremendous growth in our competitiveness and culture. This past season, we finished in the top 10 at majority of the tournaments we attended, won 2 dual meets, and significantly increased the number of athletes placing at tournaments throughout the year. This season, both the OSAA Milehood Conference District Tournament and the OSAA 6A 5A Girls Special District Regional Tournament were held at Sandy High School. We brought 20 boys and 6 girls to represent our program, and I could have not been any prouder of the effort and heart they showed on the mat. Out of those athletes, we were able to earn 8 boys district placers and two girls regional placers. Wrestlers, when I call your name, if you could just stand up and raise your hands, that way they know who you are. Our boys placers were Abiel Gonzalez Cruz, Danny Benitez, Elijah Culbertson, Ethan Fogarty, Jason Scott, Ronald Menefield, and our 2 district champions, Gordon Taiting Fong and Jorge Oguin. For our girls regional program, our regional placers were Akira Menefield, and she wasn't able to be here with us today, but our 2-time regional champion, Jaredith Fonboule. We also qualified 5 wrestlers to compete at the OSAA Wrestling State Championships at the Veterans Memorial Coliseum. Representing Gresham were Elijah Culbertson, Gordon Taiting Fong, Jorge Oguin, Akira Menefield, and Jaredith Fonboule. Our Gophers competed tough until the very end, and we were proud to bring home a state placer, with Jared Fambule finishing as a state runner-up with an incredible second place finish. This season showed that wrestling at Gresham High School is on the rise. More importantly, it showed the dedication, resilience, and heart that these student athletes have put into rebuilding this program. I truly could not be more proud of how much this team has grown and changed in such a short amount of time. Thank you. Let's go take a picture with me.
All right, wrestling team, let's take a photo. And just to give you as a school board a flavor for high school, I'm not going to mention any names, but one of those members on that wrestling team has warned me that they're going to prank me sometime this year. So welcome to high school life. All right. I have one more Gresham High School recognition before I hand it over to really one of my best friends, Jason Bear, and Barlow High School. So is Sloan Essler here? Oh, good, good, there you are. Okay, good, good. I want to recognize Sloan. She is a junior, and her recognition here today is because she earned Best of Show at the Mount Hood Community College Visual Arts Annual High School Art Exhibit. And of course, that is an amazing accomplishment. But as I like to do, I want you to know how well-rounded she is as well. She is both on the student council, she takes multiple AP courses, and she is even taking upper-level Japanese. So she's a very strong representative of what we have to offer at Gresham High School. So, Sloan. Thank you, Board. That will conclude Gresham High School's portion, and I'll hand it over to Mr. Bear next. All right.
Thank you, Principal Maury. Awesome things going on at Gresham High. Go Gophers. It's being beamed out, right? Good to see you all. Tonight I have the honor of honoring a number of students at Barlow High School and their accomplishments in our theater program and our culinary program. First up, the Sam Barlow High School theater program participated in the State Thespian Festival that took place April 9th through the 11th under the direction of Jeff Schroeder. The following students were named state champions this year in the large group musical category. Students, as I call your name, if you're here, please come to the front to be recognized. They include Bella Schroeder, Elsie Wood, Grace Bayless, Jade Matheny, Janiyah Jointer, Josie Williams, Cameron Michelson, Lauren Gakin, Lee Sayre, Lucius Lopez, Nico Spillett, Noah Sau, Spencer Nyhorn, Ty Rosenblad, Violet Ross, and William Bumgarden. Please come forward if you're here. Oh, I know, Jeff. They're, almost all of them are at a rehearsal tonight getting ready for the state choir competition this Saturday. So if you want to stand and be recognized, Jeff. There's Jeff. There's the director. Bella's here. Come on, Bella. Represent. Come on up. Get a picture. Bella, come on. You're representing the entire theater program at Sam Barlow High School. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Bella. Sorry to embarrass you. Also to recognize Nico Spillett, he scored perfect scores in the contrasting monologues category. So Nico, congratulations. He's a choir guy. And finally, receiving a Superior Trophy for one-act marathon performing Bang Bang You're Dead. The following students were recognized: Alana Lazi, Alex Swartz, Anna Crump, Bella Schroeder again, Connor Clark, Eli Cheney, Emily Benke, Emma Cunningham, Grace Bayless, Grant Sonor Ford, Isabel Jensen, Jake Forrest, Janiyah Jointer, Leah Stanberry, Levi Reynolds, Maya Cryan, Nico Spillett, Paige Capitano, Raylan Jensen, Ruby Osman, Sophia Massey, Spencer Nyhorn, and Truth Salomon. So if any of them are here, come on forward. They're all singers. I know who won the argument, Jeff, to be here or not. Jeff's wife is Amber Schroeder, the director of choir at Barlow, and so they're all with her singing. I also want to take a minute and recognize Director Jeff Schroeder, who was awarded the Oregon Thespians Theater Teacher of the Year Award. Yeah, absolutely. The award honors a theater teacher who demonstrates exceptional and inspirational teaching of secondary school theater students in all aspects of the craft, including acting, directing, playwriting, design, technology, and costuming. So congratulations, Jeff. Come on up. Congrats, Jeff. Next up, we'll honor the San Barlow High School Culinary Program. March 2nd, this past March, they competed in a Skills USA and Pro Start team competition. As I call your named students, please come forward. These students had to design a 3-course menu that had to be made in 60 minutes with 2 burners and no electricity. They earned 2nd place, including Mason O'Brien, Ethan Quintero, Isla Armitage, Cole DeBra, and Naya Yona. Please come forward. Chef Sam, if you want up there too, yeah, go get there. Go get a picture. Absolutely. Congratulations. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Chef Sam Johnson had a baby a week ago, so congratulations, Chef. The next students participated in a Skills USA competition, leadership competition and conference April 10th and 11th. Below, the students named placed in 3 different categories. In the baking and pastrying category, Maggie Zielinski placed 3rd place and Naya Yona placed 5th place. Come on up, you two. In culinary arts, Cole DeBra placed 3rd place. Come on. And in restaurant service, Cole DeBra placed 2nd place and Gael Maransolis placed 3rd place. So congratulations to those students. Congratulations. Go Bruins.
All right, well, families and students, I think I say it every time, and clumsier every time, probably too, but just thank you so much for being here tonight. I know that the recognitions you were just recognized for are far more important to you than meeting the board and getting to be here tonight. It's our privilege to get to be with you. Your excellence just shines for this community, And of all the things we get to and have to do as a board, it is absolutely the highlight to get to share your excellence with your families. So thank you so much for spending the time with us. We're going to go into a 5-minute recess, so a quick turn, and be back here at 7:35 to progress with our agenda. So thanks, everybody. All right, we're going to reconvene. Just getting a status report from each of our parental obligations that we're missing right now. Next up is our citizens' request to the board. Time has been set aside on the agenda for citizens' requests to the board. This is an opportunity for the board to listen and learn from the community. Board members are not able to respond to public comments during the meeting, but appreciate hearing your input. Public comments can be submitted in writing before the meeting or given in person during the meeting. Pursuant to Oregon House Bill 2563A, the meeting of the Gresham-Barlow School Board will be presented online to allow for virtual public attendance at the meeting. If you are a member of the community and wish to provide a written public comment, please use the Citizens' Comments to the Board form, which is the yellow form at the back. Love losing my place every time I do that. And email your comments to the Board Secretary, Sarah Avery, at avery4, A-V-E-R-Y 4, @gresham.k12.or.us by 4 p.m. the day of the meeting. If anyone in the audience wishes to address the board in person, there are yellow citizens' requests of the board. That's the one I just showed you. Forms on the table at the back of the room. Please complete a form and give it to the Board Secretary, Ms. Avery. I have several, but did we receive any additional ones? I have them all. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll just invite you up to share your comments, ask you to limit it to 3 minutes, and I will do my best to multitask and check time, but I'll try to give you some warning along the way. If you could, when I call you, just introduce yourself and your connection to the district, and then we'd love to hear what you have to say. So first up, Becky Caputo. Thanks, Becky.
I'll introduce myself in my spiel. Good evening, school board members. My name is Becky Caputo. I am a longtime community member, a district employee, treasurer of the Sam Barlow Band-Aids, and most importantly, a parent of 2 current Barlow students, with a 3rd who graduated last year. I am deeply invested in this district and the success of its students. I'm here tonight with concerns about the proposal to eliminate licensed K-5 music education. Music has been a critical part of my children's development, both academically and personally. Removing it from the guaranteed experience of every elementary student is not a small adjustment. It's a fundamental shift in what we offer children. My first question is simple. What is the actual plan to deliver the state-required arts education next year and beyond? The only details that have been shared publicly are 5 EAs for supervision and 1 district performing arts specialist. That raises more questions than answers. Who is providing the instruction? How is it being delivered? How will the quality and consistency be assured across schools? If EAs are expected to deliver pre-designed lessons, that presents real challenges in instruction and classroom management. If classroom teachers are expected to take this on, it adds to an already very full plate. Either way, this is not equivalent to the instruction currently provided by highly trained elementary music educators who create some of the most engaging and effective learning environments in our district. My second question is who developed this plan? When we face financial challenges, we consult financial experts. When we adopt a new curriculum, we rely on content specialists. This proposal represents a major shift for over 10,000 of our students. What music education expertise was involved in building this plan? Finally, I want to return to a point from the last budget meeting. Chairman Peterson asked whether there were cuts to the high school music programs, and the response was that no cuts were made at the 2 major high schools. While technically true, that answer was incomplete. It did not include the Springwater Trail High School that lost its only 2 music sections. Mr. McBride and his students deserve to be part of this conversation, and they deserve to be accurately represented. This matters because it speaks to the bigger picture. If you cut out the bottom half of a tree and remove much of the top, what's going to happen? Our award-winning, state-recognized middle and high school music programs will collapse. They will weaken and fall apart. Every secondary music teacher in this district will tell you they stand on the shoulders of our licensed elementary music educators. And without that foundation, we cannot sustain the music excellence our community expects. Strong state-level programs require comprehensive music education beginning in kindergarten. We are at a critical point that could erode an outstanding program. And I urge you to ask, what is the plan? Who developed it? What are the mid and long-term impacts? These are essential questions that need answered. Our district has built an exceptional music education system that needs to be preserved and not dismantled. Every student deserves continued access to the arts. Thank you.
Thank you. Jeremy Weed.
Honorable members of the school board, my name is Jeremy Weed. I am a multilingual student educator at Gresham High School and a former budget manager for the University of New Mexico bookstore. I'm also a voter here in Gresham. For the 5th year in a row, we face a major budget crisis that you have failed to resolve. While it is true that funding from Salem has not kept pace with rising costs, you have for your part failed to take action with regard to raising locally sourced revenue using this board's authority. Under Oregon State Statute 280.06, this school administration has the power to propose and this board to advance to the ballot a request for a mill levy increase of $1.99 per $1,000 of property value. This district has failed to propose such a levy even once. I would note that the North Clackamas School District is currently receiving $18 million under their levy, and we should expect a similar amount. That amount would eliminate our entire budget deficit, restore existing programs, all while future-proofing the budget. So why? Why the hesitation on this measure when there is such a clear and immediate need for additional funding resources? Is it because you fear the voter backlash to higher taxes? The voters are your stakeholders, and they have made it clear that they are tired of the failed policy of chop and drop, namely, chop spending on essential supplies and programs and drop or lay off staff. But by denying the voters the right to vote on a mill levy proposal, you are in essence disenfranchising your voters and denying them their constitutional rights for additional funding. Further, the district administration is endangering the district's finances by misappropriating monies from the dedicated ESOL MLL budget. I say misappropriating because under Oregon State Statute 327.13, the over $8 million that this district receives from the state can only be used for ESOL services, and under the current budget proposal, we are only allocating $3.7 million to those services. This is a yawning gap of $4 million that the state can and should take back from Gresham-Barlow if services are not rendered to students and staff is not being trained in ESOL best practices. Nor should the community ignore the fact that the chop and drop tactics used to date have failed to provide a single year-over-year balanced budget. Instead of taking the lead on this crisis, using your individual knowledge to mitigate this crisis, as you are elected to do, members of this board have often deferred far too much power to an administration that is making dangerously short-sighted choices rather than offering permanent budget solutions like a mill levy increase. With decades of dedicated public service, I ask the senior board members with 10 and 20 years of experience to champion the mill levy effort and demand the district executive leadership team to aggressively plan and support to get past a mill levy increase. Members, you were elected to lead, and now your voters expect you to lead. We demand that you lead on this issue, and by no later than the June board meeting that the administration request and the board vote to authorize to extend to the November ballot a mill levy increase to save teachers, to save our elementary music programs, and to restore this district's finances to a balanced state. Thank you.
Ms. Gagne, and I think you're on behalf of GBSD Music Educators. Okay, thank you.
Good evening. My name is Jenna Gagne, and I get to teach band at Gordon Russell Middle School. And I am here on behalf of all my music educator friends. You do have a hard copy in front of you as well if you'd like to follow along. Dear School Board District leaders and Budget Committee members, we are here this evening in collaboration with our colleagues and fellow supporters of music to restate a proposed plan for making elementary music halftime in our schools and to explain the rationale for that proposal. Though not ideal, halftime elementary music existed in this district for years before it returned to full-time in 2021. The district's current proposal would eliminate elementary music entirely by cutting all elementary music teachers. At the same time, the proposal adds a district-wide performing arts specialist as well as education assistants for supervision. Together, these additions total $605,000, resulting in a net savings of $696,500. The proposal we would like to restate would instead reduce elementary music to halftime, maintaining 4.75 FTE at $650,750, with teachers split between two buildings. Under this plan, neither the performing arts specialist nor the additional EA positions would be added. The proposal would save the district $650,750. The difference between the two proposals is only $45,750. Thus, the district would need to find just that much to preserve halftime elementary music teachers rather than eliminate all elementary music teachers. With halftime music reinstated, the proposed EA positions for supervision would not be needed, as the music teachers would continue covering classroom teacher prep time when serving the particular school. If all music positions were cut, the preps that those teachers provide would need to be filled by EAs, whether by the new ones hired or others. Regardless of how the right sizing of EA FTE takes place throughout the district, each building will need to provide supervision for those preps, so the net result is the same. Briefly, here are some of the key reasons for reinstating elementary music. Please see the attachment for further explanation. Oregon law requires that all students receive instruction in the arts. Oregon administrative rule specifies that this instruction take place by properly certified and endorsed individuals. Music instruction at all levels is crucial so that every student has equitable access to high-quality arts education regardless of their school, background, or family resources. Elementary music ensures that all students, not just those who can afford private lessons or outside opportunities, have the chance to develop creativity, confidence, collaboration skills, and a lifelong connection to the arts. The results of the district budget survey indicate that specials, which includes music, is the second most important area in elementary schools and the most important area in middle and high schools. Music plays a crucial role in our students' brain development by enhancing auditory processing, language development, cognitive function, and emotional intelligence. Music reduces behavioral issues by lowering stress and improving focus and self-regulation. Our middle and high school music programs are built upon the foundation established through elementary music education. If music is only reduced rather than eliminated, it will be far easier to restore to full-time in the future. Simply put, music matters. It connects students to the school, builds community, and provides opportunities for success that many students may not find elsewhere. Of course, we believe elementary music should remain full-time. At the same time, we understand that difficult financial decisions must be made. We urge district leadership and the board to seriously consider this proposal as a path forward to bringing music back to all the students of this district. Thank you so much for your time and consideration.
Cynthia Navarro. Oh, okay. And we did receive other comments as well. Those are included in our board packet and available to the public. If you go to our website, gresham.k12.or.us, under the About Board section, you can go into our agenda and you can read them as well. So, Andrea Parra.
Good evening. My name is Andrea Parra, and I'm a school counselor at Gresham High School. I wanted to speak to with our community around the impacts of the budget cuts to counseling in our district. I know $10 million need to be cut, and I don't have another solution. So my intention today is to bring awareness to the impacts that will happen next year due to these cuts. First, I want to make sure you're aware that 7 FTE across all levels in the district were cut from counseling and social work. Our ability to work directly with students with caseloads of over 400 students will directly and negatively impact students. We are currently at 140% of the national standards of the ratio of student to counselor, and we will be at 160% next year. This is higher than many of the districts here in Oregon. On the district survey that gave us results from ideas for the budget cuts, student supports like counseling was listed as one of the most important aspects from parents and staff, and second overall. At GHS, we house many of the district programs, including PASS program and the newcomer program. Through these budget cuts, our district-wide newcomer position was cut. This position spends about 95% of their time at GHS working directly with students and families who are new to the country. So while on paper, Gresham lost 1 FTE, functionally, it will feel like to students like we lost 1.5. School counseling was recognized as a profession in 1967, which is before many of us were born in this room. And at that time, Gresham had 6 counselors, sorry. We've fluctuated between counselors, the highest being 8, the lowest being 4.5. We have never been down to 4, and that's what we'll be at next year. Last year, the GHS counselors worked with our union and the district office leadership in relation to our workload. Our first meeting was held in March, and we met as a team to explain the inefficiencies that we saw and the possible solutions that were needed. At this meeting, we discussed example after example of situations where students were not effectively supported, parents were not effectively communicated with, and counselors were working well beyond contract hours due to an impossible workload. I do want to give credit to our district and building leadership because they heard our responses and put in some action to make that better. And that really meant a lot to us. This, however, was with 5.5 counselors. At this point, there are no more inefficiencies that we can work on, and there's no more time that we can create. The only thing left that we can give is the support to students, and that's heartbreaking. Next year, counselors will be faced with tough decisions. The fact is that in a school of 1,600 students, if there are 6 mental health crises happening at once, we will not be able to meet the needs of all of these students. We will be triaging. We will also be faced with the decision of having to follow up on connections to students who did experience a mental health crisis, or following up with a student who is off track for graduation. This is going to significantly and negatively impact our graduation rate. Part of the hard decision will mean that less than vital, but still important tasks that counselors do are not going to happen, or they're going to be delayed. There is nothing left that we can do, and it is going to impact our graduation rate and support to students. Last year, when everything was going on, my family and my doctors actually asked why I'm staying in a job that's impacting my health. My answer was always the same. The students at Gresham High School are amazing, and there's something special about them. I truly love my job. And this message is to the Gresham High School students. I want you to know that last year we heard you, and this year as well, we heard you. Every time someone said, my counselor's never available, every time someone said she's always busy, every time a parent said, it took 5 days or a week for her to return my phone call, we heard you. Next year, because we're losing 1.5 FTE, it's going to feel like that again. And I want you to know, I hope that you have patience for us. I hope that you will remember that I still love working for this community, and I hope that you will know that I will continue to try to make it better. Thank you for your time.
If I accidentally call on you and you only wanted to provide written comment, just let me know. Paul Nicholas. Hello, my name is Paul Nicholas. I am a 35-year educator, and for the last 27 years have been the proud band director at Gresham-Barlow High School. It's weird, I know so many of you, just doing an introduction feels kind of weird, but there it is. I'm not going to tell you things you don't know. You know music education is essential for a child. You know that the skills that they receive in being in music is important to a child's development. You know getting away from a Chromebook and sitting in an elementary classroom and singing a song and banging a drum and marching around does a kid good. You know all that. So I'm going to stay away from that. But over the last 27 years, I have seen so many cuts to music and arts education. There used to be 2 full-time band directors at Barlow. I had a budget that was about twice as what I have now. I average 45 kids in a class and I see over 200 kids a day. And I do that because I have to. I'm an educator. They come in my classroom and they deserve that I find a way to make it work for them. I have to find a way. They come and they expect that of me, and they come and expect that of us. I have no other choice. I have to find a way. Unfortunately, I don't know what the solution is to saving elementary education in our district, but I know it's essential. I wish I had an answer to that. I don't know the answer to that, but what I do know is this. We have some amazing wisdom in this room. Financially, PR, leadership, HR, we have amazing minds in this room. We have to find a way. We cannot let what other people decide they can do and can't do impact the services that we give our kids. Our kids deserve the best from us. Over the next couple weeks, I implore all of you, budget committee, admin, leadership, district office, to look again at books, to talk again to each other, because we have to find a way. We do. We owe it to our kids. There is no other option. We have to serve the kids in our district. I really hope there's a way we can, because we have to. Our community depends on it. Our staff depends on it. Our schools depend on it. And God knows our kids depend on it. Thank you for your time. Andrea, Hauk.
Hello, my name is Andrea Hauk, and I am the mother of a 6th grader at Damascus Deep Creek Elementary. I came to the Budget Committee meeting with some concerns last week, and I found some of the answers to some of my questions on the district website and audits of the budget, and what my questions are now. There's quite a few of them, but I see that the Gresham-Barlow School District is spending money out of their general fund without using any of the other funds, which is different than most school districts in Oregon. I also see that over the past 5 or 6 years, the Gresham-Barlow School District has transferred about $6 million out of the general fund and put it in special reserve funds. And those special reserve funds have accrued quite a bit of money over that time. The special reserve fund, I believe it's number 200, has $24 million in it. And my question would be that what are we saving that for if it's not saving programs and paying our teachers? Just off of the top of my head, according to the Gresham-Barlow School District website, the second biggest employer in the Gresham-Barlow School District is the Gresham-Barlow School District. So the teachers and that you're employing are directly affecting our economy. And their property taxes are directly funding our schools. when you don't treat teachers with respect and you don't pay them adequate wages and you expect them to try and survive on part-time work, they leave your district. And that affects all parts of our district. That affects all of our businesses, that affects our schools, and the impact will cover generations. My last point is that the budget proposal that was put up was not legal. It is illegal, both federally and in the state of Oregon, to replace licensed educators with non-licensed assistants. I know that the superintendent and the chief financial officer are in charge of informing the board and the budget committee of what they need to do to comply with state and federal guidelines. I find it very distressing that that budget was even proposed and allowed to be put out when it should have been stopped at the moment it was suggested to propose something that violates state and federal law. That is, it ends up making the board look foolish, and we wouldn't accept that kind of work from our students. It's absolutely unbelievable to me that that would happen. And I know that all of you want the best for our community and our kids. And I'm asking you to please hold administration accountable, double check the numbers yourself, because you're not, if you were not informed, I know for a fact that administration was informed that that was not legal by the teachers union, by myself, by other parents, by, I'm sure, plenty of the music teachers and educators here, and still did not stop that proposal or send it back like we need to do something. We can't just put out a proposal that violates state law. That's absolutely ridiculous. And it ends up making all of us look bad. I appreciate your time, and I hope that all of you will consider that when you are looking at the budget and you're looking at helping the people that are creating our budget. And also, $24 million could solve a lot of our problems, and you cannot have $24 million sitting in a special reserve fund and then claim you don't have enough money to run the district and have the state take you seriously when you're asking for more money. Thank you.
All right, that is the last comment that I believe we've received. So, appreciate those of you who stood up and speak, realize it takes courage and conviction, and there's always an awkward exchange when we just sit silent, and I want to acknowledge that awkwardness is part of just the way we have to do business, but I appreciate you being here. Our next item, we have a consent agenda that consists of 5 items. We have minutes from our Budget 101 on March 19th, minutes from the regular board business meeting on April 2nd, minutes from the regular work session on April 23rd, monthly financial report from March, which we'll have it, I think it's in the agenda later as well, and personnel report related to employee contracts. With that consent agenda, sorry, let me read my spiel. All items listed in the consent agenda are matters considered by the board to be routine, and they're enacted by one motion. The motion requires a second and a vote. There will be no separate discussion of items on the consent agenda unless a member of the board requests specific items be removed from the consent agenda and placed on the regular agenda.
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Okay, moved by Sean, second by Chris. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. All right, next up, we have our 26 to 29 classified collective bargaining agreement. I'm going to turn it over to Michael Sweeten.
Thank you, board.
Perfect timing.
Good job. Welcome. I have two guests with me. We have co-presidents of the OSEA local chapter, Eric Fuller and Jessica Hauk. Yep. And so tonight we are really excited to bring this to you. Recently, we renegotiated our collective bargaining agreement with the Oregon School Employees Association, OSEA. It's being presented to you this evening, the board, to approve. So we negotiated the contract language. It's been incorporated into a new 3-year collective bargaining agreement that will cover the years of 2026 to 2027 through 2028, 2029. So the board approval will represent the board's ratification of the 2026 through 2029 collective bargaining agreement. So this is my first year in the district, if you didn't know. And before I even started, this process was brought to me, and we used an interest-based bargaining process. So we come together as the district and the OSEA, and we become a team. And we propose our shared interests, and we put those on the table, and we spend 2 weeks together getting to know each other and struggling through all the things that can improve our employees, basically their work circumstances and what their needs are, and you know, what their interests are. So we're really proud of this, that we're able to bring this, and they had a presentation and a vote, and so that was really successful, which is amazing. So that's
Yes, we had, if I
yes,
may.
please.
We had an incredible voter turnout of our membership. We had a 51% turnout of our membership, and 100% voted yes for ratification in favor of this contract. So overwhelmingly approved.
All right. And so a lot of the team is here from the OCA team, and so hopefully they'll join us. And then thanks to the district team, they also gave up a lot of their time away from their buildings and in their offices to spend time together to get through this. We're really proud of this contract, so thank you. It's my first one, so yeah. Good job, guys. So, good job.
Yeah, I was the board member that represented for this particular activity, and I do enjoy the interest-based bargaining process. It allows a much closer conversation, opportunity to get to know people and really work through issues and having to agree on what it is that we want to present. It's 2 weeks of time, 5 days a week, and it is an amazing opportunity. And we've used this process, how many years? Somebody will know how many years it is. 10 years? Or is it? Yeah. So we've used it for a number of years, and it seems to work for us very well. So I'm very pleased tonight that this is coming and was approved by your membership. So thank you for that as well.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind.
Since I was on it. Yeah, all right, okay. So it is my pleasure to move to approve the collective bargaining agreement between the Gresham-Barlow School District and the Oregon School Employees Association for July 1st, 2026 through July 30th, 2029. June 30th, sorry, June 30th, 2029.
All right, it's been moved by Chris, seconded by Brenna, to approve the collective bargaining agreement between the Gresham-Barlow School District and the Oregon School Employees Association for July 1, 2026 through June 30th, 2029. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. We did take an earlier recess. We also have a small celebration to tend to. Do we want to get through board reports and district reports, or do we want to recess now? Okay. Recess now is louder to my left side. So we'll recess for, recess till 8:25. 8:25 up there. That's long enough. All right, we're going to reconvene. And our next item is a Gresham-Barlow Education Foundation report. I believe Cindy's here for that. Am I right? All right. Thanks, Cindy.
Thank you, Chair Peterson, board members, and Superintendent Klinger, always for giving us a few minutes to share with you what we've been up to at the Education Foundation. We love awarding grants. It's our very favorite thing to do. And recently we awarded the following. David Breeze, the K-5 math coach, submitted a $689 grant to purchase supplies to make students more engaged when working on math. And as a not math person, I'm sure it's really appreciated. Gordon Russell submitted a $1,345 request to purchase a chomp saw, which I'm not exactly sure what that is. I unfortunately was not at the meeting to get that presentation, but it's for the art department. Heidi can probably tell us. Cuts card, there you go. So it's for the art department. And it follows the STEM guidelines, so we're really excited to be able to now support grants that are supporting the STEM guidelines. It's great. The GBSD Clothing Co-op continues to be very popular. On our open day on April 29th, we had 75 families come through, which represented 401 people. We asked them how big their household is, just kind of for our own statistics. And 1,533 items went out the door. So we really appreciate Athena and her team. They put the word out because it's open to all GBSD families. And we had a winter clearance and went through so many coats went out the door. It was great. So this next month in May, we're hoping to have a good selection of summer clothing that people can pick from. And there's no requirements. Again, it's open to anyone in the district to come. So we would encourage anyone that would like to come. What's really heartwarming as well is so many of the people that visit are also bringing clothes and donating. So the room is back full again. So we're going to start organizing those clothes for next month. So thinking ahead, just as a reminder, the foundation's adding its new fundraising event that you heard about last month. We're going to be manning a fireworks stand this year. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. It's across from White's Meats. We're going to be open from June 24th to July 4th from 11 in the morning to 9 at night. So please share with your family and friends that if they need fireworks this year, will be the best place around to purchase those. And then our annual Scramble for Students will be on Monday, August the 17th. And there are those here who can attest to the fact that you do not actually have to know how to play golf to come participate. Raise your hand. No. Anyway, it's fun. It's a fun day, and we try to guarantee sunshine all the time. So there are registrations available online now on our website, and we, again, have the morning and afternoon tea time, so it works really well for everyone. So we really appreciate the opportunity. We appreciate, again, Athena for spreading the word in the clothing closet, and for Heidi for being our district liaison. So she's able to, she actually just told me we've got 2 more grants to review, so we can report on those next time. So thanks for the time.
I had something. So before you go, Cindy, hang on. I just wanted to remind the board, I've been thinking about the last couple of times that we've had foundation updates. You can do a donation to the foundation every time that you shop at Fred Meyer. You set up your rewards card, you select the organization that you want to have them donate. Doesn't take from your rewards, doesn't take from anything, they just give it to you. And we get a little notice at the bottom of our receipt every time how much goes to you guys. It's a lot. You don't have to, once you're signed up, that's it. You just plug in your number or swipe your card and you never know. I think, generally speaking, we get about a $345 check every quarter, and that's for, I don't know, I think 51 participants, I'm not sure. So, even if it's not us, I hope you'll benefit somebody, because it really is it's a very painless way to contribute. So thanks for bringing that up, Chris. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Cindy, again. Next up is the superintendent and district leadership report. So, Tracy.
Thanks.
As you know from the excitement just moments ago, that we had an action item earlier in the agenda, and we have officially ratified and approved the contract for our classified staff effective July 1st. They've all left for the evening, but we're still going to talk about the wonderful experience that we had. These staff members are such an important part of our school district, and this agreement reflects our commitment to their vital role. For this negotiation, as you heard, we used an interest-based bargaining process. This was my first time formally engaging in interest-based bargaining, and it was an incredible experience. And with this process, we were able to build stronger relationships between leadership and our staff. We developed a deeper shared understanding of specific contract language, and we collaborated on solutions that serve both the district's health and our employees' needs and well-being. I want to share my sincere appreciation to every member of the bargaining team. The hours were long, but the process was built on mutual respect, and in the end, we are all happy with the outcome. This week is Teacher Appreciation Week, and while it has been a difficult few weeks in our district, it is more important than ever to pause and recognize our licensed staff for the heart and expertise that they bring to our classrooms. Our teachers and specialists are more than just instructors. They are caretakers, mentors, relationship builders who create sparks of curiosity and guide students on their path to learning. This includes our counselors as well, who have been our steady anchors, providing the emotional support our students, staff, and families need to feel safe and seen. So thank you to all of our licensed staff for your fierce commitment to our students. Teachers make a difference in our classrooms every single day, and I believe that Chair Peterson has a lovely sunflower for you, Matt. You were hoping that that was for you. This is why you chose to be here tonight, right? I'll continue a bit more. We officially began the formal budget proposal process with our first budget committee meeting last week. We will meet again on May 13th. The development of this budget has been an intensive, often heavy-hearted process. We are currently navigating a painful rub between the technical necessity of a balanced and legal budget and the people who are at the heart of this district. To ensure this district remains a stable place for children to learn for decades to come, we must move away from temporary solutions. The budget represents a reset. We are committed to operating strictly within our actualized revenue, maintaining fiscal responsibility to ensure long-term solvency, and protecting the educational ecosystem rather than looking at programs in isolation. There's significant hurt in our community right now. Any reduction in staffing is not just a line item. It is personal, it is painful, and it impacts lives. The decisions represented in the budget were not made in haste. They are the result of thousands of hours of debate and critical thinking intended to balance the reality of our bank account with the needs of our schools. In a balanced budget, every addition requires a reduction elsewhere, making the impossible choices now so that we don't face a total collapse of services later. While we manage the reality of our current state funding, we will remain relentless advocates at the state level. We will continue to push for a funding model that reflects the true cost of a modern, balanced educational experience. I want to highlight an example of this. For several years, we've provided credit recovery and summer programming through grant funding. However, last week, we were notified that we did not receive the $1 million summer learning grant, a loss that spans the next 3 years. The impact of this loss is twofold. Without this funding, we lose the ability to provide targeted support at the most critical transition points of a student's education. If we want to maintain these programs, we must now find a way to pay for them ourselves. The loss specifically threatens kindergarten transition programs that ensure our youngest learners are socially and academically prepared for their first day of school, setting the tone for their educational career. It impacts summer programming is our primary defense against summer slide. Without it, many students lose progress in reading, widening the achievement gap before the next school year even begins. The jump to ninth grade is a high-risk period. Transition programs provide the foundational skills and confidence needed to keep students on track for a four-year graduation path. And credit recovery for high school students during the summer is a key opportunity to earn the credits necessary to cross the graduation stage. In addition, our summer programs are a vital component of youth violence prevention. Summer programs provide students with structure, purpose, and connection. Without these programs, our students lose a safe environment, putting them at higher risk of making poor choices with their time. For a variety of reasons, we know that for many of our students in our community, the safest place for them is at school. This is just one of the thousands of decision points and challenges currently facing the district. Each choice has significant implications for our students' lives and their futures. None of them are easy, and none of them are taken lightly. Leadership often requires making the hardest choices in key moments, but with a clear vision for the future. This budget is more than a financial document. It is a commitment to the long-term health of our schools. Though the path ahead requires sacrifice, our mission remains unchanged: provide a stable, thriving environment where every student is known and supported. This moment in time is about partnership as we build a sustainable foundation for the years to come. Thank you.
Our next item is board reports and requests. I do not remember which side I started on, but I'm going to start to my left this time and just work this way. So, Erasto, would you mind kicking us off?
Sure, thank you. So last month I participated in a couple of activities at Highland Elementary. So I attended Donuts with Dudes with my daughter and a lot of parents, guardians, friends, and other relatives. They showed up and I got the opportunity to meet with them and just have good conversations with them. And then I also attended my VIP and me dance, which was really great. It was different from Donuts with Dudes. So we danced to music, and unfortunately I had to cut my visit there short because we had a board session, but it was, again, another opportunity for me to meet with parents and just kind of get to, hear what they're saying. And then today I did go to Highland Elementary. They had a music concert out there at Mountain View Church, and it was amazing. I have a daughter, she's in 5th grade, and I am a stakeholder with these discussions. I'm impacted. Not only am I making decisions, but I'm also impacted by the decisions being made. So that's it. And actually, I forgot some. So later this month, I will be going to Cal and Ray Academy for their graduation ceremonies. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I first want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. This past few months, I've been volunteering at Hogan Cedars Elementary School on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I took part in a mock interview with high school students at Barlow. As the Legislative Policy Committee member for this district, I met with Representative Zach Hudson, the Chief of Staff for Ricky Ruiz, and Senator Gorsuch regarding IEP funding. And there are some interesting conversations going on. I really don't have anything to report solid about that, but we are figuring out some type of way we can leverage more funding for IEP opposed to using the general fund. And lastly, I'm also going to attend some graduations upcoming. And lastly, I would like to invite you all out to the Night Around the World at Hogan Cedars Elementary School on Wednesday, May 14th, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Thank you.
So did you say what was the day on that?
It is Wednesday, Thursday, May.
Thursday, May 15th, okay.
Thursday, yeah,
May
sorry.
14th, and that's at Hogan Cedars.
Yes, Thursday.
Ready? Okay. All right, I had to go through my calendar and look at, there's lots of stuff that went on, but not all everything is worth presenting tonight. We've got another hour and a half to go, so I won't present as much. I definitely enjoyed my time that I spent with the classified bargaining. It is a significant amount of time to take, but worth it, and absolutely a wonderful opportunity. I've had some different visitors come to the store the last month or so. I had Dana Nelson's, I don't know what she calls it, but her marketing class, and they came to see what it's like to run a small business and what's involved with the marketing. I had a local private school come and visit. A little bit younger kids to see just what it's like to go into a shop and be respectful in the shop and ask questions and recognize that it's not a place to play, it's a place to go and learn. And I do this every year with that particular group. And then I also had some of the Gresham High School drama students come in, and they actually came in. I do get a number of students and people who come in to give me flyers to post up on my window about events going on, which is how I usually find out that there's a play or something else that's happening, a concert or whatever. I love getting posters to put up in the window. And as I was talking to the kids, the particular play that they were going to do, it reminded me. I said, oh, I remember doing costumes for that play. And we started talking about it, and I realized that I've done probably at least 12 to 15 plays at Gresham High School, and I definitely want to go out and see how many of my costumes are still out there. And I will mark which ones were the ones I did. I absolutely want to come out and do that. So Mondays or Fridays are good days. Mornings are good. Okay, so put that down on your calendar. Let's see. We have requested a conversation with the board at one of our upcoming work sessions to talk about what all is part of the legal and components of having a local option levy. So just having us all be on the same page about understanding what that means. I've been involved in the conversation for years, and I want to make sure that everyone on the board is definitely aware of what that entails. And I have talked with the superintendent about that. So we've got that in the works for when we can get that in. And then finally, should have gotten your ballots, reminder to vote, and a reminder also for students that if you will turn 18 by the November election, you can register to vote now so that you will get your ballot in November. So it's always a good thing for our seniors to get registered and make sure we did our usual, voted at the kitchen table, dropped our ballots off over at the old library, and got notification within a couple days it's already been counted. Which reminds me, when I say old library, May 16th and 17th is when the new library opens. There's going to be music and activities and traffic issues at the corner of Eastman and Division. Thank you very much for that. So I hope that we can all get an opportunity to go out there and see, as they've been taking down the barricades and the fences and the signs, the building is just more and more beautiful. And I hope that we are able to use and take access to that and really enjoy this wonderful new library that they've given us. And I think that is it. Anybody that wants to invite me out to a school, make sure, yeah, I know I need to get back out to yours and visit, and I'm starting to get a little bit more time, and I want to be able to do that. So thank you.
I could report on the things that I did, the meetings, the schools. But I will just take this time to thank our teachers because it's Teacher Appreciation Week, and I want to acknowledge that this entire district and system doesn't run without teachers. And so I'll use my time for that. We have amazing teachers in this district. We know that you're important and that you impact our students. So this has been a heavy month. We sit up here and listen, and we have for the last year about the different needs of our students. And so none of the decisions that we're making are taken lightly. And I just want you to know that. So thank you, teachers, for all you do.
I also want to say happy Teacher Appreciation Week, and thank you for your work. I had the privilege of working here as a teacher for about 10 years in various different middle schools, and ended up, my final teaching years were at Highland Elementary. So it was great. But as a former colleague, I know how great all of our teachers are, and as a dad in the district, I am very knowledgeable about how wonderful our teachers are and the impacts that they make in kids' lives. You know, um, my son doesn't talk much about school, but I know when he talks about school, it's because the teachers made a difference in his life, and so it's really really great. I've been invited by the PTC of Deep Creek, Damascus, to go tour their school. So I'm working with them. It's looking like maybe next Friday, a week from tomorrow, I'll be getting a tour by the PTC. And I also, along with all the board members, was on the budget team. And I really appreciate all the public comments that we've been receiving, whether it's in person, email, the online petitions. You know, I get them all. I read them all. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you using your voice for sure. In my years here as a teacher, we went through 2 or 3 different RIF processes, and it's never easy. And it's probably the worst time in somebody's career is that RIF period. And it's sad to me that we're in a state that we have to do it again. And so my hope is this never happens again. But unfortunately, it may in the future. So I hear you, and thank you for using your voice.
So besides echoing all of that, some things I got to do is I also attended Barlow's mock interviews, which was super fun. And then I got some amazing letters back from the kids, and those were really fun to read through. I've attended the Gresham girls flag game against Barlow, and we won, and that's always fun. I've attended the Gresham baseball games, softball games. I went to the Business Excellence Awards, and I got to actually witness Holly over here get an award, and that was pretty cool too. I did get to go on 2 really cool field trips with Hollydale Elementary. One, I went to the Bull Run watershed, and then the other one, we went to PCC with the Portland Water Bureau, and those both were just super fun. I'd do them again if you ever have a chance to go. They're great field trips. And then I also participated in the budget committee, and I've shedded lots of tears. I'm a human, and so shedded lots of tears over just the reality. And then this week, Hollydale did a walk and roll, and so that was super fun. If you didn't get to see it or hear about it, there was multiple locations throughout the neighborhood where teachers met students, and then they actually all walked to school together. And then our mayor met us at the front doors and greeted our kids, and it was a really fun event. And so as far as just upcoming some things, I just wanted to highlight Sweeney Todd is coming, and so buy your tickets. May 15th, I believe, is opening night, and then it's for 2 weekends. And so I'm excited about that. And then tomorrow night, we have community senior night for baseball. And then also a big track event, the Dean Nice. We host over 20 schools at Gresham High School. And so 2 big events happening. So encourage you to show up and show support. And then just lastly, I also have been really reflective over just teachers and just my own experience with teachers. And so I just want to say thank you. You're the heartbeat of our schools. Your leadership inside and outside of the classroom is helping shape the future of our kids. And so education continues to change. There's challenges, and you continue to just go after those challenges and just keep pushing forward. And I just want to say thank you. doesn't go unseen. And there's not enough words that I can say to say just thank you. And I want you to know how deeply we care about each and every one of you. And so thank you for investing in our kids' future.
Man, tough act to follow. I want to just thank my my group on the board. I was just reflecting. I think Arasto had to leave a concert early, or was at risk of having to leave his child's concert early. I know a couple of us were tracking our kids' games as best as we could that we're missing tonight. We've got a college returning that already happened, but you missed it. Yeah. Well, I can't turn back time.
I'll still be there when I get there. Thank you.
I just did Colby have anything? Okay, yeah. So we're yeah. This has been of all the human moments on the board, probably the most human month that I think I've ever had to endure. Dozens of conversations with staff, families, students, legislators, and I think we're all feeling a deep sadness. I know that that's a universal feeling right now. I hesitate to say it since we're on camera. No, I'll say it anyway. I was walking in the door and the other day with Rep. Ruiz, and I love Ricky, and he and I will see the world differently on every number of issues. But we were talking about the situations that we're in, and he asked how my family was, and I asked how his was, and he talked about how he's advocating. I asked him questions about how we could better advocate, all the things that we all talk about, and it got me reflecting of just how careful I need to be. And at the risk of patronizing, I am talking to myself. I really am, but how careful we need to be with the words that we say and the things that we conclude, particularly the humans in the room, but what we say reinforces in our brain what is true. And I'm with Sean, so grateful for the volume of engagement that we've received. This community is passionate for its kids, it's passionate for its teachers, it's passionate for the programs that enrich and edify our kids. And we got a volley of incredible engagement and some things that just aren't true. And so I'm just imploring you, check what's true before you say it. And I'm asking myself to do the same thing. I shared that about Ricky because I probably said some things about in my frustration with just the situation toward our legislators. And I can see the humans who are trying to solve the problem too. All right. And so to the degree that I can lead at being human and seeing others as human, I'm going to do my very best. We'll try to solve some problems together. We'll be on the road together. And I just, I want to continue to invite that engagement. When's Sweeney Todd? 15th, 16th, 17th. Okay. All right. I'm going to get that one on my calendar. All right. Sunday, 2 o'clock is a great time. Okay. I'm going to have the privilege of going down and seeing Barlow's choir perform in Corvallis this weekend. Really excited about that. I want to wish a strong May to our teachers. So grateful for all that you do.
18 days to seniors.
18 days for seniors? Nope. No way. And you've got one of those.
I got one of those too.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, thanks to the board, thanks to district staff, and all of our teachers, educators. Yeah, we're in this together. With that, we'll move on in our agenda. And we're at 28. No, we're not. We get to hear from, we want to hear from Matt with GBEA. Oh, no, we're at presentation. Sorry, Matt. I set you up, but I gave you flowers earlier. First, Gresham Arthur Academy. Yeah.
Thank
We'll go
you,
with Gresham Arthur Academy,
Chair
Carla.
Peterson. While our friends from Gresham Arthur get settled in here, I'll just introduce them. In compliance with ORS 3880952, Gresham Arthur Academy submits a report to the District and State Board of Education each year on the performance of the school and its students in the preceding school year. This report must include, among other things, information regarding the goals and assessments relating to student performance, and I look forward to the school year ahead. And in front of you is Stephanie and Candace and Jessica. And take it away. Thank you.
Thanks. Superintendent Klinger, Chair Peterson, members of the board, thank you for the opportunity to speak with you this rough evening. I have the honor of representing Gresham Arthur Academy. This is my 10th year as principal, and it was really exciting as I was listening to some of the recognitions to hear a couple of our former students being named. So that was fun. Being here that long, I finally get to hear some of that. You should have received our performance framework in January, so it's been a while, and we're primarily reporting on the last school year, even though we only have a month in this school year. But we're happy to showcase some of what's happening this school year along as with the things that we have to report on from last year. All right. To begin, I'd like to provide a quick snapshot of the GAA community. We are currently comprised of 163 students, made up of 123 families, 18 of which are out of district. I know you often ask that question, so I want to make sure I have that for you this time. We have 9 full-time teachers, 6 classroom teachers serving kinder through 5th, and then we have 2 small groups teachers. We have 2 leadership staff teachers who are currently serving as another small groups teacher and as the kindergarten teacher at this moment. So at this time, neither of those staff members are serving in their assigned role. We have 1 administrator, myself, and 1 office coordinator, and then we have 3 halftime lunch or like recess coordinators that kind of round out our community with our families, and we're proud to be a part of a community that values education, resilience, and opportunity. At GAA, our current student demographics reflect diversity, but not to the extent that our neighborhood schools do. In fact, last year I had reported that we were starting to get really close to mirroring the district as a whole. We actually backslid just slightly this past year. So currently we're moving from that, but as a very small school and a lottery-based school, there's not a ton that we can do to fix that, except reach out to other communities and let the communities within our community know about our school. And our parents help with that a lot. All right. There we go. I think I missed something. Yes, I did. Our student body includes learners from a variety of racial and ethnic backgrounds, but also a significant number of students in poverty. We also serve students with varying academic needs, including English language learners and students with academic supports through IEPs and 504 plans. And this diversity strengthens our school culture and drives our commitment to equitable outcomes for all students. And you can see there that students with IEPs, 10.4%, so that's not a huge percentage for sure, and that just has to do with the way that services are provided at GAA and the continuum of services across the district in SPED. And then our students with disabilities also includes our 504 students. So we have actually have more students now currently, even in the last 2 weeks, on 504s than we do IEPs, which I'm sure is pretty common. All right. Attendance, we know, is a key factor in student success. We're pleased to report that our student attendance rate has continually grown in the past 3 years. Through intentional family engagement, clear communication, and a focus on creating fun, celebrate attendance days, we've been able to maintain a clear and consistent message about the importance of daily attendance as a foundation for academic achievement. And I think we talked about that last year, about just making fun random days. We actually, side note, we stopped that in Q3 of this year because there was so much illness going around. We actually didn't want to encourage coming to school sick because we needed it out of our school, finally. But we're back to it now. So we took a little break. And then in terms of student testing results, we continue to see our students achieving above the district as a whole and the state levels. But at the same time, we recognize there's still work to be done to ensure all students meet or exceed grade level standards. We remain focused on using data to inform instruction, supporting our teachers, coaching, providing the resources students need to succeed. This, as you know, has been incredibly difficult with the amount of funding we've received for our students. The success for our students is a direct result of the passion and exhaustion of our staff, whose salaries and benefits are much lower than those offered by the district. We've done a lot with very little, and we're incredibly proud of those efforts. We were honored just recently, last Thursday? Last Thursday, educational journalist Emily Hanford visited our school. She is the author and producer, podcaster of Sold a Story. She's a really big deal. She started to change the narrative of early literacy across the nation. And so it was a big honor to have her come and film at our school and interview our staff and students. And we're looking forward to seeing her final product, which is a story on effective teaching practices. So that was pretty cool to have her in our building. And then in conclusion, we want to express our gratitude to the Gresham-Barlow School District for your ongoing sponsorship and partnership of our charter. We look forward to building on this collaboration as we work together to ensure every student has access to a high-quality education. While we were disappointed we couldn't agree on an audit, we are thankful to have engaged with the district leadership. At this time, we're happy to answer any questions regarding our school or the previously submitted performance framework. Thank you for your partnership, and if anyone wants to visit, we are more than welcome to have you come visit. You can come to our 5th grade graduation on June 12th at 1 p.m. too. So, thank you. Questions?
Not a question, but a statement, and you kind of jumped it on me. I've been out there to visit, and it's been a couple of years, I know. And I'd like to have one of our newer board members, Heather, go with us as well. And
Awesome.
just do a nice little visit. You did that for me before, and it was very helpful to see, because it's a different learning style
Yep.
from some of our other schools. And so to see how that works is very interesting. And we could have one other person join, or I would have to back out, so we don't have a quorum of the board. So 3 would be maximum, but it is worth it to go out and visit. So we'll try and coordinate. Mornings work better for me. I don't know how they do for Heather. I'm speaking for her. Mornings are good. Erasto, you want to do it as well? Okay, so I think it would be good to go and do that, and maybe I'll do a
Awesome.
second visit and bring Brenna. Brenna doesn't want to go, okay. Brenna knows. She knows
Just walk
all about
upstairs.
it. Yeah, she knows all about it. Yeah, yeah. But anyhow, just nag me a little bit to make sure that we
Okay.
get that scheduled. I don't think that the 5th grade graduation really gives us a full picture. Yay, we love graduations,
Oh, yeah.
but let's
Come to
see
both.
the day-to-day.
We'll
have
take
that
you
much
at both.
time.
You have lots of time, I'm sure. Just like
Lots of
us.
time. But yeah, definitely, if we could get something on the calendar would be great.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
Awesome. Okay, Sean, what have you been dying to ask?
I told him in the back that I'm going to ask the hardest questions. No. So, 2 questions. What is your retention of students? So, like your kindergartners, what percentage of your kindergartners graduate 5th grade? And is the retention, or what is the magic, whatever it is, to get the kindergartner to excelling or exceeding their peers in the district in reading and math by 3rd grade and continuing on through 5th grade?
Direct instruction is what our model. But attendance is important to that too, right? Like we need kids in seats to teach them. So I would say direct instruction, number 1, and then an actual, I don't want to just off the cuff give you a number, but I will get that for you and I will email you with it. Yeah. Typically, since COVID, everything kind of, changed a little bit. But in pre-COVID, we did not have very many students enter in 3rd, 4th, 5th. Like once you're in there, K1, 2, you might have a little bit of shifting those years, but then once they're 3rd grade, they're kind of cemented. And then we would often see a drop after 4th grade because parents will want their kids to go to their neighborhood school the year before they go to middle school so they have some friends. And so we'd see a little drop there. And then I feel like our fifth grade class typically at the end, which you wouldn't have a new fifth grader that last year, typically. I feel like it's usually about 25, 26. So we have 25 or 26 students that really came with us the majority of the way. Yeah. But I will look at actual numbers for you.
I told you I'd ask a hard question.
Yeah, man, you gave me more work to do.
All right, I don't see any other questions, but I do just want to say thank you for presenting, and the administration of your school is notable, and we hear such positive things from your families too. You're a valuable partner. Just wanted to thank you for being here. All right.
Okay, Matt.
You can stay longer if you want.
All right, next up is the Gresham-Barlow Education Association report that I promised earlier.
I think you were just hoping I would nod off and you could just move on past it. I'm like, we're going to let him sleep. That's showing appreciation for that teacher right there. Excuse me. First of all, OSEA has also given their time to us, just so you guys are aware. I'm kidding. Thank you and good evening, Chair Peterson, members of the board, and Superintendent Klinger. As always, I appreciate the opportunity to speak on behalf of the GBEA and its members. I submit the following report on behalf of the GBEA with concerns about the district's current financial decisions and public messaging. The district's stated mission is to inspire and empower each student. I can say with confidence that that mission has been successful, as we heard from many of our students who spoke last week during the Budget Committee meeting at Clear Creek Middle School in response to the district's decision to cut elementary music and the AVID program district-wide. The GBA is equally committed to holding the district accountable to financial practices that align with their own stated goals to provide effective, high-quality instruction to each student in our district, to provide a physically and emotionally safe and culturally responsive learning environment that gives students and families voice, and of course, prudent use of resources that uses an equity lens in decision-making. A core of our concern is the apparent contradiction between the district's characterization of a financial crisis within the general fund and the broader financial picture presented in recent audits. While reductions, including the current layoffs, are significantly impacted by state-level funding and the general fund, a review of the legally required outside annual audit suggests that the district's overall financial position remains stronger than it is claimed in the media, particularly given continued growth of other funds, especially the Special Revenue Fund. This raises an essential question. Why is the general fund being reduced to the point of crisis while other funds continue to accumulate significant reserves, including millions transferred internally from the general fund? Specific financial decisions have further compounded this concern. In the 24-25 fiscal year, the most recent year audited, approximately $1.8 million was transferred from the general fund to the Special Revenue Fund to support curriculum and technology, despite that Special Revenue Fund ending the year at $24 million, an increase of more than $15 million since the 2021 school year. The Special Revenue Fund balance is much higher than the general fund balance. That is highly unusual in a school district. Additionally, nearly $1 million was transferred for the purposes including post-employment healthcare benefits, print shop operations, thank you for the copies, and long-range planning, even though the Special Revenue Fund continued to grow steadily in recent years. These transfers suggest a pattern of reallocating resources away from the general fund, which directly supports student instruction and staffing. The rapid growth of specific sub-funds within the Special Revenue Fund also warrant clarification. Over the past 2 years, the Long-Range Planning Fund has increased from 0 to 2.3 million. Similarly, the PERS Liability Fund has grown by approximately 50%, from 7.5 million to a little over 11 million. Early retirement increased roughly 75%, from 1.3 to 2.2 million. While planning for long-term obligations is prudent, the scale and pace of these increases raise important questions about prioritization, particularly when immediate impacts to students and staff are being considered. Given these financial trends, GBA members are deeply concerned about the district's decision to again declare dire financial circumstances and reduce student-facing staff. These actions directly affect classroom instruction, student support services, and the overall learning environment. At the same time, the district appears to be drawing down the general fund while building reserves and funds that are less directly tied to day-to-day student needs, and those balances keep escalating. Finally, we ask the board to consider whether the roughly $6.5 million transferred from the general fund to the special revenue fund over the past 5 years, during which the special revenue fund grew by more than $15 million, a roughly 274% increase, could be reallocated back to support student-facing programs and services. Such an action by the board would align more closely with the district's stated goals to provide effective, highly quality instruction to each student in our district, provide a physically and emotionally safe and culturally responsive learning environment that gives students and families voice, and of course, prudent use of resources that uses an equity lens in decision-making. Actions that align with these goals would help mitigate the need for cuts that directly impact students and educators. The GBEA respectfully urges the board to take a closer look at these decisions. Request the district administration provide clear and candid explanation for these financial decisions and to reevaluate current budget cuts with a focus on protecting classroom instruction and student support. Our members stand ready to collaborate in identifying solutions that are fiscally responsible while keeping students at the center of every decision. Lastly, I want to leave you with this. 99.5, not a radio station or my temperature. That is the number of reduced licensed staff in the Gresham-Barlow School District since the beginning of the 24-25 school year. Thank you.
Okay, next up is social, thank you, Matt, sorry. Next up, social science curriculum adoption. I see Heidi and Tim, thanks.
Thank you. We're gonna sit here, not there.
Yeah, sit right here. Alrighty, good
Many
evening.
options.
Good evening, Chair Peterson, school board members, Dr. Klinger. We're back with social science curriculum. The Oregon Department of Education reviewed instructional materials in 2025 and formally recommended materials to meet the needs of district's social science classrooms. And the materials we currently have in use are not aligned with our newly adopted social science standards that are required next year. District adoption teams have reviewed curriculum options. We've piloted materials and obtained student and parent feedback. The board received an overview of the curriculum process and some links to the curriculum on April 23rd, and the curriculum is being presented today to the board for a second reading. The K-2 adoption team is proposing to adopt the McGraw-Hill Wonders Matavias curriculum, which is our current literacy curriculum, as our social science adoption. And the adoption team is also proposing to purchase picture books as supplemental materials. The supplemental material picture books are expected to cost about $20,000 for the K-2 classrooms. The grades 3 through 5 adoption team is proposing to adopt Teachers Curriculum Institute Social Studies Alive. The TCI Social Studies Alive 7-year subscription for elementary levels grade 3 through 5 is expected to cost no more than $346,000.
And the middle school adoption team is proposing to adopt Teachers Curriculum Institute as well, History Alive. The TCI History Alive 7-year subscription for the middle school grades 6 through 8 is expected to cost no more than $445,332. That's what we've got.
Okay, questions, board?
After the 7 years, have you done any calculation to try to understand what those costs could possibly increase to, and or if you would like to continue with those particular vendors?
So typically a subscription, when you adopt a 7-year subscription, it doesn't continue on from there. You're committed to the 7 years. You pay up front for the 7 years. Sometimes you can add on to it, but it's not for the same curriculum price. And at the time when we re-adopt in the future, ODE will be presenting new materials for us to review, but they're also reviewing their curriculum adoption plan for districts right now. It's under review, so there's some unknowns for the future right now and how long they'll be before we need to re-adopt and what their plans will be for us.
The other piece with that is standards are adopted every 7 years by content area. That will probably expand by a year or two with the new adoption cycle that ODE is proposing. But the materials that we have now, 7 years from now, won't be aligned to the new standards that will be adopted when ODE continues that process. So the standards are continually under review by content area year by year.
Are there significant material changes to the standards in those 7-year reviews from ODE?
For middle school and high school, I'll let Heidi speak in just a moment, but even within the middle of the adoption cycle this time, ethnic studies, things around genocide and Holocaust and other curriculum standards have been added to what was adopted in the previous 7 years. So social studies specifically has undergone some significant changes in the past 7 years, for sure.
And that's the same for elementary as well.
Yeah, I think that the purpose of my question is evident. A standards shift creates cost for a community. I think my second question is, and we already had this in a work session, but I'm just confirming for public, this is a hybrid digital and paper curriculum, correct?
Correct. Most of the student materials for 3rd through 5th grade are actual books that the students are reading and writing in. It has all of the content in the book. A lot of the digital portion is teacher materials that students are interacting with on their interactive flat panels. There's more, and just different options for teachers, not necessarily students on their Chromebooks for the instruction.
And the same thing is true for middle school specifically. A significant portion of this adoption is in consumable materials that students would use year by year. So there's that online portion with the content that's continually updated that mirrors what students are using in these workbooks, writing, reading, interacting with colleagues.
And since they send us the materials yearly and some of it's digital, they can update their content throughout the years.
Yeah, and I think it was answered because the standards have been updated. So my question is somewhat moot, but I still am going to ask it. You know, this is going to cost us $791,000 and some change. And normally I'm all for curriculum adoptions. I want to make sure we have the best for our students. But how dire is it that we adopt it right now?
The social science materials that we have available to us in elementary school are many years old. I think they're in the classroom when you were teaching, Tracy. So we have a big need to update our social science materials. We're only doing that for 3rd through 5th grade, and then, like I mentioned, using our literacy curriculum for K through 2.
And for middle school, the materials that we currently have, because the standards have been updated, are not aligned to the materials that we currently have for the adoption that was done 7 years ago.
Thank you.
Okay, this has come to us for a second reading, but also as a recommended motion. So I think the board has some choices here, but is there an urgency to get it done in May?
So we'd like to get the materials purchased and in hand by the end of June. And so to do that, there is an urgency to have this done sooner rather than later.
So we've been a little bit longer on getting this one done, and I will admit, social science was one of my favorite topics in school. What is the normal renewal cycle for this? And I realize that, I mean, things change as it's ongoing activities in real time. but is a 7-year, 10-year, I mean, what is a normal for social science? And I keep wanting to call it social studies, social science as opposed to science or math or something else.
So currently with ODE, all of the content is on a 7-year rotation. So whether it's social science, math, health, language arts, all of them are on a 7-year cycle that are staggered with a specific calendar or schedule. ODE is right now in the process of looking at extending the timelines for those, and they'll be proposing some ideas to the state board, I believe, at the next meeting coming up. But as of right now, it's a 7-year cycle rotating through different content areas.
All right, well, we do have a recommended motion. It's actually 3 recommended motions, but I do think with some creative wordsmithing, we could make it into one, if that's something we want to entertain.
I would move to approve the purchase of Teachers Curriculum Institute, TCI, Social Studies Alive, 7-year subscription for the elementary level grades 3 through 5 at a not to exceed amount of $346,000.
All right, it's been moved by Holly, seconded by Rosto, to approve the purchase of Teachers Curriculum Institute Social Studies Alive 7-year subscription for the elementary level grades 3 through 5 at a not to exceed amount of $346,000. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Keep rolling.
Next, I would move to approve the purchase of Teachers Curriculum Institute, TCI, History Alive, 7-year subscription for the middle school, grades 6 through 8, at a not to exceed amount of $445,332.
All right, moved by Holly, seconded by Brenna, to approve the purchase of Teachers Curriculum Institute History Alive 7-year subscription for the middle school, grades 6 through 8, at a not to exceed amount of $445,332. Any discussion?
Yes.
Okay.
I realize, I just want to clarify, so the amount, in this case, of $445,332 for the 7-year subscription, are there additional fees that we pay then during those 7 years, or this covers it for the 7-year?
That covers it entirely for the 7 years, and it's actually, we've built in a buffer, so the cost is expected to be less than that.
Is this all up front, or is it 445 divided by 7?
So it's, the purchase is up front, so it's 445 divided by 7, right? We purchase.
Is it spread out over 7 years?
Oh, I see. No, you purchase up front, and then they provide the materials for the next 7 years.
You know, as just a point of discussion, and maybe put Tracy or Pete on the spot, curriculum purchasing, can you talk about where it comes out of our funds, so that we just have that full understanding?
The last number of years, we have used SIA funding for our curriculum purchases. That is the plan for this year. It's been intentionally budgeted for. It is part of the set-asides that Matt was referring to that we do need to do long-term because our SIA funding is being eaten up by paying for classroom teachers. So part of the set-aside strategy allows us to take money from now and put it in an account so it can build up over time. So we know that language arts is in a couple of years. We know that's a big expensive adoption and we want to have the funding ready for it, but it's all part of intentional planning.
And just to confirm my knowledge and put it in public, SIA is Student Investment Account, which is largely grant.
It is a grant.
It is grant funded from the corporate activities tax that our local businesses pay.
Yep.
So, okay. Okay, so we do have a motion. Sorry, was there another question or discussion?
You got it answered, so we're good.
Okay, so motion's on the table. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
Next, I would move to approve the adoption of McGraw-Hill Wonders Maravillas, the district's current literacy curriculum, as a social science curriculum for grades K through 12. K through 2, pardon me.
Moved by Holly, second by Heather, to approve the adoption of McGraw-Hill Wonders Marvius, the district's current literacy curriculum as a social science curriculum for grades K through 2. Any discussion?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not a stupid question, but why is there no money associated with this one?
So since we're using our current curriculum, it won't be a cost there. And we'll be purchasing picture books from multiple different vendors to try to create a resource for teachers. So it isn't coming from one vendor. And some books, we do have a few in hand as well.
So this is really just it's for public benefit to let them know what we're using as our curriculum.
Yes, and I've attached the the Oregon IMET to the summary so that we have that on file as well, because that was part of the process of an independent adoption.
So just typically the board would approve these contracts because they're dollar amounts, but we do have an obligation to approve curriculum for the district, and so that's why it's on the table. Any other discussion? Right. Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, thank you. Next up is tuition and fees for the 2026-27 school year. Sarah.
Thank you, Chair Peterson, members of the board. This is an annual item that we talk about for our tuition and fees for the upcoming school year. The proposed tuition and student fees for the fiscal year 2026 and 2027 are detailed on the supplemental materials and highlighted in the attachments within our agenda here. This year, after looking across many districts, doing some little analysis and comparisons, we've decided to make no changes to fees across all grade levels. This is one, because our fees were brand new last year again. We have some families that are still adjusting. And also we want to make sure that all of our activities and athletics are really accessible to all of our students. So for now, we will be leaving them at the same rates for the coming year. As for the K-12 tuition for non-resident students, that is a number that is set by the state of Oregon, and it has increased from $11,139 to $11,608. At this time, I'm not aware, and I don't think that Deputy Superintendent Cook is aware of any of our students being here on tuition, but it is something that we need to set every single year in the case that that should happen. We are recommending that the board review and approve the proposed fees and non-resident tuition for the coming school year as presented.
Because I've asked it so many times, I finally think I got it through my school. And so I just wanted, for community's sake, the tuition fees is for kiddos who do not live in the district and are not able to transfer in due to, by any other method, but they still want to go to one of our schools. So we have to charge them a tuition amount, and the tuition amount is based on the projected state school fund. So it's not like we're coming out of thin air with $11,608.
Exactly right. That is set by the state of Oregon.
I'll add one more thing in there. When we have approved foreign exchange students too, they pay this tuition also.
I appreciate the effort to keep fees flat. It would probably be in the era that we're in a worthwhile exercise to look almost at a by activity level what the gap is between the fees that we collect and the service that we deliver. And I think that would be helpful, not for now, but at some point in the future when, and then whenever we find our green pastures in funding, the first fee I'd love to see lifted is a graduation fee, if that's at all legally possible. I think getting our kids across the finish line is an achievement that I'd love to see. I know that we're not in that position. So those are my thoughts.
And I kind of agree with you on that, but I know the graduation fee, unless we could get it back here instead of paying the Coliseum to go and do graduation, that's where probably that fee is going to. Tracy's nodding her head.
It's a small portion of the fee.
One of those gaps that I was talking about earlier.
Gaps.
All right. Well, that'd be another one to be helpful to know. right, any questions from the board? Okay, we do have recommended motion, I think, on this one.
I would move to approve the 2026-2027 proposed fees and non-resident tuition as presented.
All right, it's been moved by Holly, seconded by Sean to approve the 2026-27 proposed fees, non-resident tuition as presented. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next up is a resolution for the ending fund balance, and this one's for me. So there's we talked about this at the budget committee meeting. There is a board policy DBDB titled fund balance that states that the board directs the superintendent to manage the currently adopted budget in such a way to ensure an ending fund cash balance of at least 8% of total adopted expenditures. The current projected ending fund balance is below 8%. And the proposed budget that the budget committee is considering as well has a projected ending fund balance below that, as some might add. So we have options, and a number of options. When we talked about this kind of starting back in January, we thought maybe a resolution would be the best way to handle this rather than modifying the policy. Let policy endure a little bit, but acknowledge the lapse in policy through resolution. So that's kind of the idea. And if you have your agenda in front of you, we have my recommended language, which is, please read it. Please. Yeah, a little wordy, you think? Well, that's just par for the course for me. So what we're proposing in there as a summary is to adopt a temporary reprieve and allow the ending fund balance to be 6.5% of anticipated expenditures. That 6.5% was through a highly scientific formula from me that split the difference between 5%, which it used to be, and 8%. That's it. It's below the 7.1 that our current proposed budget gets to, and gives district staff, my thinking was, sufficient latitude to work with this budget without forfeiting the very good reasons why we have an ending fund balance. So it's temporary. It forces us to revisit it in for the 27-28 budget setting process. So the district doesn't have approval past this budget year to do it without us reviewing it again.
So that was going to be part of my question, because in the resolution, it doesn't really say that. And it just says it's a temporary suspension. I'm just looking at the recommended motion. No, I'm looking at the recommended motion. So it's in the resolution? Okay. Okay. Because I was just looking at looking at the motion. All right, so hang on just a second.
Yeah, I guess for, again, this is in the public documents, so folks can see it, but it basically acknowledges in whereas statements that we're projecting a general fund expense revenue gap, as we're well aware. We must comply with ORS 294456, which requires that adopted expenses not exceed available funds, that we have a policy that we're bound by that requires an 8% ending fund balance, and that there are a variety of factors with potential impact on the district's budget. That is pulled directly from that policy, that language on whereas number 4.
Okay.
So the resolution is that we, in order to support the superintendent in delivering that budget requirement, we approve a temporary suspension of the 8%. During it, the unreserved ending fund balance must remain above 6.5%, and the resolution is temporary and shall be reviewed as part of the 27-28 budget process.
All right, so I'm going to take a shot at so I would move to ratify Resolution 2026-10, authorizing the temporary suspension of the 8% ending fund balance requirements as stated in Board Policy DBDB. Fund balance to remain above 6.5% during the temporary suspension, with an annual review of this temporary suspension.
And So we're reducing it by,
Before. So it's been moved by Chris, seconded by Holly to ratify Resolution 2026-10, authorizing temporary suspension of the 8% ending fund balance requirement as stated in Board Policy DB fund balance to remain above 6.5% during the temporary suspension with an annual review of the resolution. Okay, so now discussion, Sean.
sorry for all the order. So this is reducing the, minimum balance by 1.5%. Dollars wise, what is that? Like, what is 1.5%?
Because it's a function of expenditures, it's not a number that can be said. In the year that we're currently in, it would be approximately, off the top of my head, 1.3 million. I can do some quick math and get you a better number.
No, that's fine. Rough estimate's fine. Rough guesstimate, how many more students would we have to get in the district to get that money back?
Ooh, I would need to get you that number.
Pete just broke the cardinal rule, you never do math in public. Yeah. He's smarter than me, so he can do that. Any other discussion? All right, and all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Next up is an information item related to the monthly financial report. Pete, is there?
Question for you on that. How will this be associated with policy DB now, so that if someone, future board member, looks at it and says, well, it says 8%, how are they going to know that there's a resolution that says 6.5%? How does that reflect within the policy setup? Do we put that in there with
Do you have a recommendation? Yeah, that's a great question.
I would think putting it in, and I don't know how we would do that, but somehow I want it associated as close as possible to the policy,
Yeah.
since that's what someone would look up.
Can we put it in a footnote, Chris?
I think so. That would work. That sounds like that would work.
Do you want to bring it to the policy committee, or
Okay,
just
let's do
ask-
that.
what do you- what's-
Let's bring it to the policy committee so that it does get documented, that A, we did this here, and then B, we put it in the policy as a footnote per resolution on such and such date.
And just ask the superintendent and team to help keep us on top of that. Sarah, mainly. Okay, so now on to the monthly financial report. Pete, do you have anything to highlight out of that?
No, I think it is surprisingly germane because I definitely didn't plan this, that the notes are that the district's financial position is relatively stable. The current projection for ending fund balance for this year is 6.4%. That is a decrease from the prior month's projection by 0.4%. For those of you who are familiar with the ups and downs, the big thing that the district is waiting on right now is the state school fund May reconciliation. And in a normal quote unquote year, ODE gives about 4 estimates before we get it, and they keep kind of fluctuating as the math keeps changing. This year we're at 9. So I really can't say with any certainty what's going to happen, but I am still expecting a positive adjustment as opposed to a negative.
Okay, that takes us to closing items. We have a budget committee meeting on May 13th. That will be here at the Public Safety and Schools building. For just expectation setting, will be on tables down here, so the full budget committee, but that will allow us to have better mics and kind of audio and all that. So we'll be here at 6, and time shifted to 6 p.m. for that meeting. Okay. That's to allow, I don't need to remind you how long Wednesday went. That's to allow a little bit more time. We have a board work session on May 21st here in the conference room. We'll have a budget hearing on June 4th, provided we have an approved budget to consider for the public, and a regular board business meeting on June 4th following the budget hearing. That, no other business before the board, we're adjourned.